Let me tell you a story that sounds like something out of a horror movie, but every word of it is real. It started in a quiet little town in Austria. The kind of place where nothing ever really happens. People leave their doors unlocked. Neighbors greet each other with a smile. And in the middle of it all was a man named Joseph Fritzlow. An old guy, retired engineer, kind of distant, but respectable. A father. A grandfather. Nothing unusual. Or so everyone thought. In 1984, Joseph's 18-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, vanished. Just disappeared. No one knew where she went. A few weeks later, a letter showed up in her handwriting saying she'd run away to join some weird religious cult. Her mother was devastated but believed it. The police backed off. And life went on. But Elizabeth hadn't joined any cult. She hadn't even left the house. She was right beneath them. Imprisoned in the basement. Locked away by her own father. See, what no one knew was that Joseph Fritzlow had been planning this for years. He built a secret cellar under the house, a hidden dungeon, really. Reinforced concrete walls, soundproofing, a steel door with a code lock. No windows. No light. You had to go through multiple doors just to reach it. It was invisible to the outside world. And one day, he tricked Elizabeth into going down there. Then he locked the door and never let her out again. He kept her trapped there for 24 years. He raped her. Repeatedly. Brutally. Almost daily. She was completely alone, terrified, cut off from the world, and then, she got pregnant. And then again. And again. Over the years, she gave birth to 7 children, all fathered by her own dad. Let that sink in for a second. One of the babies died just a few days after birth. Joseph didn't take him to a hospital. He didn't call for help. He threw the tiny body into a furnace. Burned it. Like it was nothing. 3 of the children, Lisa, Monica, and Alexander, were brought upstairs by Fritzlow as infants. He told his wife, "Oh look, Elizabeth must have left the baby on the doorstep." And she believed him. She actually raised those kids upstairs in the same house with no idea their mother was locked up in a cell below. Meanwhile, the other 3 children, Kirsten, Stefan, and Felix, were kept in the basement with Elizabeth. They had never seen daylight. Never felt the sun on their skin. Never stepped on grass. Their whole world was concrete walls and a flickering TV screen. They didn't even know the sky existed. They were growing up like ghosts. And all this time, Joseph was living a normal life on the surface. He'd go on vacations. Host dinners. Say goodnight to his wife, and then sneak down into the basement to rape his daughter and play God over an entire hidden family. It went on like that for over 2 decades until something changed. In 2008, one of the basement children, 19-year-old Kirsten, got seriously ill. She collapsed. Elizabeth begged her father to take Kirsten to the hospital. She knew the girl might die. At first he refused, but then, maybe out of panic, maybe because he felt cornered, he agreed. But he made Elizabeth write a note again pretending she was still out there in the world, still in the cult, and had dropped off the girl to get help. That's where he slipped. The hospital staff took one look at Kirsten, pale, sickly, underdeveloped, and immediately knew something was wrong. Nothing about her condition made sense. They alerted the police. And for the first time in 24 years, Elizabeth saw the outside world again. Joseph brought her to the hospital to explain things. He still thought he could control the story. But when the police separated her from him and asked questions, she broke. At first, she was terrified. She believed that if she said anything, her father would kill her children. But finally, she said it. "I've been kept in a cellar for 24 years. By my father." When police raided the home, they found the hidden door. They cracked the code. They opened it, and what they saw inside shocked even the most hardened investigators. It was a hellhole. Moldy walls. Dirty mattresses. Low ceilings. Toys. Crude drawings on the walls. A tiny toilet. A hot plate. The smell of damp rot. It was like something out of a nightmare. And there, cowering in the darkness, were the children. The ones who had never seen sunlight. Joseph Fritzlow was arrested. He confessed to everything. In court, he hid his face behind a folder. But the truth was already out. The entire world watched in horror as the details spilled out. Rape. Incest. Imprisonment. Enslavement. Child abuse. Negligent homicide. He was sentenced to life in a psychiatric prison. He will die behind bars. The house? Locals tried to burn it down. The government sealed the basement forever. And Elizabeth? She and her children were moved to a secure, undisclosed location. Away from cameras. Away from reporters. Doctors said the children had to be taught how to live in the world. One of them didn't even know how to walk upright because the ceilings had always been too low. They had to learn what the sun was. What an open field looked like. How to smile. And still, they survived. But what haunts people the most isn't just what happened in that dungeon. It's how long it lasted. How no one noticed. How evil can hide right under your feet. Because Joseph Fritzlow wasn't some wild man in the woods. He wasn't a stranger in the night. He was a father. A neighbor. A family man. And the horror he created was just one locked door away.